Made it to Foxwoods. Staying here at the Grand Cedar Hotel, and I've never stayed here before. I've actually never stayed at a hotel at Foxwoods. In fact, I've only been to Foxwoods a few times, and it was really just for a couple of different trips. And I think the last time I was here, I vlogged about it. And I haven't been since. And if you haven't seen that vlog, you're definitely gonna wanna check it out up here. It's one of my most watched vlogs, and probably one of the most interesting ones in terms of like the content. I do wish the production quality was a little better. I wish it was a little better back then. But you know, you can't remake vlogs. They exist in time as they were. And so, yeah, but go check that one out if you haven't. We're gonna, I think, meet up and get some dinner downstairs in a little while. It is 5:15 now, so I got about 45 minutes to kill. I gotta admit, I wasn't sure what kind of accommodations to expect here, but this is pretty dope. Got this little like side sofa thing here, just chilling in the back of the room. It's got this little shawl curtain thing to, well, for some privacy, of course. I don't know, man, like I love Vegas. I love the views that you get in Vegas if you get strip views, but there's also something really calming and really relaxing about being able to come back to a hotel room and be living in decent luxury, but just have the woods out behind you, you know? All right, let's get ready. One second. So we're doing a little meet and greet here at Stony Creek Brewery. Familiar faces. Chad over here. What's going on? Chad, a few new faces as well. Got Lee, and I already forget your name. Brad. Oh, that was my guess too. I should have just. Is that what you're doing? No one's asking you. So, for the Lucky Chances event, I knew that I wanted to talk about hands while I was there. I'm trying to be better about talking about hands when I'm actually at the locations where I'm playing the hands. For Foxwoods, I failed. I'm a failure. I'm sorry. The reason behind this, though, is a good one. This event was insane. If you were not at Foxwoods for this $86 qualifier, I don't know what to tell you. It was a blast. They did it as a one-day event. Just one day. It started at like 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning, and it ran until basically 3 or 4 in the morning the next day. Just totally bonkers. Had about 1,300 entries, and that's because Foxwoods is an absolutely gigantic property. I think it might be the biggest casino in America by square footage or something like that. It's definitely up there. And frankly, it was run astonishingly well. I would not say this normally. When you're running something with 1,300 people or 1,300 entries in a single day, just the sheer manpower involved in having that happen is just incredible. So huge shout out to Foxwoods for putting on a great event. This event wouldn't have been successful without them, and I personally had a ton of fun both playing and just being a part of it. It's Jason, right?
Yes, Jason, Big Bear.
So we got Jason here, also playing the Moneymaker Tour.
Yes.
How you doing on first break?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I just got into a hand with a guy who's been making a lot of moves, and for him, he had this set of fours.
Oh.
If I would have caught that, that would have took me over almost 65K.
Wow.
But now I'm still sitting at 19, so I'm still pretty good.
Okay, doubled up. Wow, you're doing better than me, so I'm gonna try to catch up.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
We're gonna try to catch up with you.
Gotcha.
So with all that mushy stuff out of the way, why don't we get into some of the hands from this $86 qualifier? So, as you guys might remember from the Lucky Chances event, I fired 3 bullets in that one and basically only played like 1 to 2 hands per bullet. This one was a little bit different. We did start a little bit deeper, so there was some more play involved. So let's just get into some of those hands. This first hand, we're at 50, 100, and we have... So we're here on the first break of the Moneymaker Tour. Not much to report just yet, but I did play one interesting hand. Blinds are 50, 100. We are starting super deep, 10K, and there's a limp pot. I have ace jack in the big blind. I just check it rather than raising. Didn't think I was really gonna be able to isolate. Flop comes, king 9 deuce, checks round. Turns another king, checks round again. There's a queen, I check. Middle position ends up betting 400 into about 400, and I just didn't really think he had it, so I ended up calling. He really didn't want to show, which is always a good sign. I tell him I have ace high, he says it's good, and take down a small one. Since then, I've just kind of chipped down a bit, calling some hands pre-flop and not really making anything happen. So sitting on about 8K, coming back to I think 100 or 200 with a 200 big blind ante. Let's go. In this next hand, we've gone up a level or two. We're at the 100, 200 level with a 200 big blind ante, which, just as a reminder, means that the big blind is playing the ante for everyone at the table. So I've got about 7K in my stack. I've been chipping down, just kind of seeing flops and not connecting. There's a dead big blind in this hand, and we're actually at the first hand back from break, so we're 7-handed. Early position makes it 450. I'm in middle position with ace king offsuit, and I'm up it up to 1.5K. Early position calls, and the flop comes queen 8 deuce rainbow. Sorry, not actually rainbow, 2 spades. Early position checks, I bet 1400, and he just jams. So unfortunately, I think I have to fold here. He could have some bluffs, but it really sucks just having ace king high, and even though we don't have a spade in our hand, so he is more likely to have bluffs, I think we just kind of have to let this go. Now, we're all the way down to 3.6K. Early position limps in. I'm in middle position with aces, and I'm up it up to 800. The cutoff, the button, and early position all call. The flop comes 774, and when it checks to me, I just shove for 2800. I don't think there's much to be talked about here. I don't think there's much reason to check or bet smaller, so I just jam, but it ends up folding around, and we just take it down. Now at the 150, 300 level with a 300 big blind ante, I've got 6K, and the cutoff limps with about 11K. I'm on the button with ace 7, and at this point, I'm now feeling confident in kind of the table dynamics, and I think I want to ISO with my ace 7 offsuit to 1K. Only the cutoff calls, and we go heads up to king 7-4. He checks, I bet 800, and he makes the call. The turn is the 3 of hearts, which brings in a backdoor flush draw. He checks, and I check now because I don't think I'm really going to be able to get value from worse, and I do still have showdown value. There's no need to turn this hand into a bluff. The river is a 6 of hearts, which brings in the backdoor draw, but shouldn't be super relevant since a bet did not go in on the turn. The cutoff bit's 2300, and I think that when I bet flop and check turn, this hand is a little bit too high up in my range to fold. I do end up calling, and he's got just pretty much the pure float here with the 10-8 of diamonds. So take down another one, and getting close to starting stack again. Unfortunately, I then go on to pretty much fold the next 5 to 10 orbits in a row. I've chipped down all the way to 3600, and with blinds of 250, 500, with 500 big blind ante, actually add a new table with a couple people who watch the vlog and a couple people who have even watched me stream on Twitch. By the way, you should watch me stream on Twitch. Go check me out at Matt Vaughan Poker. I've got so few chips in play. This table is very active. It's really hard to get involved. It's really hard to ship your chips in. in any kind of situation where like it's been folded to you. So I just haven't had a situation yet. There ends up being 2 limps, and I shove the good old Jack 7 suited with my last 3600, and pretty much 1 minute until the level ends. And I think it was actually the last level before rebuys were over. So the both limpers end up calling, and they check it all the way down on ace 10 3 with 1 heart, 6 of spades, deuce of clubs. And I end up losing to king 9 for middle position. So can't be too upset about that. It was a lot of fun while I was in it. It was fun being at the table with people who watched the vlog, and also having a couple of interactions with other people who watched the vlog, but who I didn't necessarily get to play with. So it was the last level before rebuys were over, and I did decide to rebuy. I think I came in with like 25 begs or something, but with an $86 qualifier and a $30,000 platinum pass up top, there's no way I wasn't going to rebuy. So we come in, I got 10K again. Now we're at the 400, 800 level with an 800 big blind ante. I'd gotten a 3-bet jam through earlier, but not much has happened besides that. The cutoff ends up jamming 8,000. I'm in the small blind and I have pocket sixes. And at this point in the tournament, it's one of those things where against an unknown player, I might just give them credit here. But I'd seen this person jam several times, and it was kind of cool because I noticed sort of my stereotype of her, because she was, a middle-aged or an older woman. I don't remember exactly, but basically someone that kind of stereotypically would not be probably jamming enough off of a short stack. But I'd seen her jam like 4, 5, maybe even 6 times in only the couple orbits that I'd been at the table. So I know she's, willing to get a little bit out of line. It's almost certain that she is jamming correctly or a little bit more than correctly, knowing that people are calling off too tight. So I do think that I probably just have to call it off here. I end up making the call, and unfortunately, she's got one of those hands that is a pretty easy jam from her spot. She's got pocket 8s. The board runs out ace, king, king. The turn is a 6, which was certainly a welcome sight to see, but the river is a king. And unfortunately, that means that instead of having 6s full of kings, I've now got kings full of 6s, and she's got kings full of 8s. So kind of weird hand there. It took a minute or so for everyone to figure out who won the pot and get the pot pushed the right direction. And I'm basically crippled here down to just 2,500. Blinds are still 400, 800, and I don't know if it's the next hand or just a couple hands later, but early position limps, and I'm in hijack with queen 9, and I just shove. I don't really expect to ever get folds here, but I think this hand's a little too good when we have 3 big blinds, especially facing just a limp. The button makes it 4K, the big blind calls, and early position folds. So we're 3 ways to the flop. The main pot's got 8,700 in it. There's a side pot that we can't win with 3K in it. Something like that anyway. They check it down on 8,867,4. So we had a lot of chances at it here, but we end up losing to the good old ace 10 offsuit in the big blind, and we are out. So we're just in a sea of familiar faces here. We're in a sea of vlog watchers here at Foxwoods. We got Pete, still actually in, right?
Yeah, I got about, I would say 120K, and average chip stack is 48.
You're in a good spot, man.
Yeah.
I hope you win it. There's still about 270 people trying, but
pretty much 160 paid, so let's see how it goes.
I think you're in good shape, man.
Yeah.
So good luck.
All right. Thank you. Hey, watch the vlogs. He's doing an awesome job.
Sign twice, please. So it's front and back. It's gonna be the trip of a lifetime. you are going to have an if you bust out on the second level, you are still going to have an astonishing time.
You told me you were drowning. I will not lend a hand. I've seen your face before, my friend, but I don't know if you know who I am. Well, I was there and I saw what you did. I saw it with my own two eyes. Wipe off that grin. I know where you've been. It's all been a pack of lies. And I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Well, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord.
He didn't shooting the Foxwoods. No, after the skip over. Yeah.
So just wrapping things up here at the Moneymaker Tour Foxwoods stop. Didn't get to note all my hands and got kind of busy watching the final table, seeing it wrap up. And we ended up not finishing until, see that? Not sure if you can see that, but 4:30 in the morning. So I'm gonna get some sleep. We can talk about the rest of the hands later. And the champs over here, the champs over here, both Pokerstars and Foxwoods champs alike, just killing it. Thanks, man. Appreciate it all. We got the true heroes here. Thanks again, man.
No problem.
Loved it.
My pleasure. Thanks. Good night, Jim.
So, just want to give another big shout out to all the Foxwoods staff, especially I don't know if he's the room manager or just the tournament director, but Johnny, doing a great job running this and, you know, being on site for as long as they were. It was a crazy event. Congrats to the gentleman who won it. I don't remember his name, but I do believe he said he works at the World Trade Center, and he does janitorial work there. So big shout out to him. He's going to be going to the Bahamas. There are still many more Platinum Passes to be won. I'm going to be posting the video from Mohegan Sun coming up shortly and going from there. Remember, if you like my videos, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and consider getting notifications so that you know when I put up new videos. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought, and share this video with anybody who likes poker content. I'll see you guys in the next video, and just thanks for watching, and thanks for being so supportive of me. For those of you who don't know, I was actually in the hospital recently and was kind of recovering, so it was really nice to kind of see all the people who kind of reached out, wanted to check on me, see if I was okay, and who just kind of have supported me generally throughout this vlogging experience. So thank you guys, I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next video.